A big day today with vice presidential elections commencing in a short while from now. Rajya Sabha television will get you all the minute-to-minute developments. I'm Smriti Rastogi with Breakfast News. Let's begin the bulletin with the top headlines of this morning. Vice presidential elections today from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. Results in the evening. NDA's M. Venkaiah Naidu pitted against opposition's Gopal Krishna Gandhi. Prime Minister Narendra Modi says next 5 years will be transformative. At book release function of Vice Presidential candidate Venkaiah Naidu says responsibility of all to maintain prestige of Parliament. India undeterred by Chinese provocations on Doklam stalemate, says solution through diplomatic initiatives from both sides. UN Security Council set to vote on US drafted resolution on North Korea. Washington aims to slash North Korea's annual export revenue by a third. And India in control of second test against Sri Lanka in Colombo. Hosts reeling at 50-2 in reply to India's mammoth total of 622 for 9 in first innings. The election to decide the next Vice President of India will be held today. Members of Parliament will cast their ballot for the elections from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. The results will be announced in the evening. Only members of both houses of Parliament, including nominated members, vote in these elections. MPs will use special pens for marking their choice. NDA's candidate M. Venkaiah Naidu is pitted against opposition's nominee Gopal Krishna Gandhi. Naidu served as the Minister of Housing and Urban Poverty Alleviation, Urban Development and Information and Broadcasting in the Modi cabinet. He has also served as the BJP National President from 2002 to 2004, whereas Gandhi is the son of Mahatma Gandhi and is former Governor of West Bengal. The total strength of the two houses is 790. In the 545-member Lok Sabha, the BJP has 281 members. The NDA, led by BJP, has 338 members. In the 243-member Rajya Sabha, the BJP now has 58 members. The one who bags 50% plus 1 vote of the total valid votes cast will win the polls. NDA leaders met in the capital on Friday ahead of the vice presidential polls. The meeting was organized to brief MPs about the current voting procedure to minimize the possibility of votes becoming invalid. During the presidential polls, 77 votes were declared invalid, of which 21 belonged to parliamentarians from various parties. The meeting was attended by leaders from the NDA and also members who do not belong to NDA but are supporting Venkaiah Naidu's candidature.
सभी सांसदों को कैसे वोट देना है उसको पावर पॉइंट प्रेजेंटेशन करके अच्छी तरह से समझाया है और इस बार किसी की गलती नहीं होगी। सभी एनडीए के हमारे सांसद सही वोटिंग करेंगे
कि एक राष्ट्रपति की चोन या उपराष्ट्रपति की भी जो चोन होए तो जो राष्ट्रपति की चोन में जो कमियां दिखी उनको दूर करने के लिए और भी विस्तार से आज इंश्योर किया जा रहा है कि वो दोबारा रिपीट ना हो।
And Prime Minister Narendra Modi on Friday released a book based on the speeches and published articles of the BJP-led NDA's vice presidential candidate M. Venkaiah Naidu. The book, titled Tireless Voice, Relentless Journey, is a compilation of Naidu's long political career as well as his speeches in the parliament. On this occasion, Prime Minister Narendra Modi led other BJP leaders in praising Venkaiah Naidu's achievements in the course of long political career. The Prime Minister drew a parallel between 1942-47 and 2017 and 22. He hoped that the next 5 years will see a similar transformation in the country. Venkaiah Naidu also spoke on the occasion and asked MPs to support the Prime Minister in his task of reforms. Finance Minister Arun Jaitley and Union Minister Ram Vilas Paswan also spoke on the occasion.
राष्ट्रपति और उपराष्ट्रपति का ये नया कालखंड है, लेकिन राष्ट्र जीवन का एक बड़ा महत्वपूर्ण कालखंड है और मैं भली भांति इसको देख पाता हूं। 42 to 47 देश में एक बड़ा चमत्कारिक बदलाव आया था जिसने आजादी दिलाई। मैं 17 to 22 उस रूप में देखता और एक ऐसे समय में एक समान विचारों से पले बढ़े, समान संस्कारों से पले बढ़े राष्ट्रपति हो, उपराष्ट्रपति हो, पार्लियामेंट के स्पीकर हो, या हम सब लोग जो हैं जिनको दायित्व मिला है, हम एक ही कुनबे के, एक ही परंपरा से पले बड़े लोग हैं। ऐसा अवसर आजादी के बाद शायद पहली बार आया है।
will be meeting you. This is the last time in a meeting. Of course, people on the other house, they'll be seeing me in a different responsibility. But there won't be any scope for this sort of interaction and all. And this meeting will be my last meeting as far as the members of parliament of the BJP or the NDA, even others are concerned. So naturally, it makes me emotional because right from the day when I joined politics or when I joined youth movement, I've been active at every level, whether it is RSS, whether it is ABVP, whether it is Yuva Morcha, whether it is BJP at the state level, at the national level. And I always used to treat the party as my mother because as someone said, I lost my mother at a very young age. तो मैं हमेशा महसूस करते थे पार्टी हमारा माँ है।
वेंकैया जी की एक विशेष खासियत ये रही कि जो उनके साथी रहे हैं उनसे स्नेह तो करते हैं, उनको एंजॉय भी करते हैं। और वेंकैया जी के स्टाइल के बारे में शायद 20 बार घंटों हम चर्चा करके खुद भी आनंद लेते हैं।
हम लोग जा रहे हैं, भावभीनी विदाई करते हैं। दल से भले विदाई कर रहे हों, दिल से विदाई नहीं कर रहे हैं। आप हमेशा हम लोग के दिल में रहेंगे। आपका प्यार, आशीर्वाद जो हम लोगों को मिलता रहा है वो हमेशा मिलता रहेगा।
The government has allocated a subsidy worth 6,000 crore rupees for the handloom sector, which does not fall under the ambit of the GST regime. Minister of State for Textiles, Ajay Tamta, also said that handloom weavers do not come under the GST regime as their total turnover is below 20 lakh rupees.
Issue which is very old.
Responding to supplementaries during question hour, Minister of State for Textiles Ajay Tamta said the government was concerned about the welfare of handloom weavers. He told the House that the government provides a subsidy of 90% to scheduled tribe weavers, 75% to scheduled caste weavers and 50% to general category weavers to encourage setting up of solar power handloom units.
उसका है, मगर पावर लूम में भी हम 90% की सब्सिडी शेड्यूल ट्राइब के क्षेत्र में और 75% की सब्सिडी के माध्यम से शेड्यूल कास्ट के क्षेत्र के अंतर्गत दे करके उनको सोलर के माध्यम से जोड़ने का काम पावर लूम के सेक्टर के अंतर्गत हम कर रहे हैं। इसलिए वीवर्स को हर प्रकार से सुविधा हो, अंतिम पंक्ति में खड़े व्यक्ति का विकास और उसको काम मिले, इस दिशा में चाहे उसको यान की सब्सिडी है उसको भी हम लगातार दे रहे हैं।
Responding to another query, Railways Minister Suresh Prabhu informed the House that presently the number of work-charged gazetted posts in various grades on Indian Railways stands at 6,434.
कि हम लोगों के पास जितने भी पोस्ट है, ये सभी पोस्ट आज सिर्फ इस कारण के लिए कि जो काम चल रहा है उसके लिए। आपको भी इस बात को सुन के शायद खुशी भी होगी कि पहले रेल में 35-40 हज़ार करोड़ से ज़्यादा कभी प्रोजेक्ट के इम्प्लीमेंटेशन के लिए कैपिटल एक्सपेंडिचर नहीं दिया जा सकता। हमारे प्रधानमंत्री जी के कार्यकाल में हम लोगों ने उसको बढ़ाकर पिछले 3 साल में 3,75,000 करोड़ करीबन हम लोगों ने कैपिटल एक्सपेंडिचर के लिए बढ़ाया, तो बड़े मात्रा में प्रोजेक्ट भी चल रहे हैं।
Questions were also raised on setting up of seed banks in Chhattisgarh and the operation of the Sindri fertilizer plant. Kriti Mishra's report for Rajya Sabha TV.
The Congress on Friday gave a notice to move a privilege motion in the Rajya Sabha against External Affairs Minister Sushma Swaraj. They alleged that she misled the House on 3rd August while replying to a debate on India's foreign policy and engagement with strategic partners. Leaders of political parties alleged that in her reply to a short-duration discussion, Swaraj denied that any speech or statement was made by any representative of the government at the Bandung conference. She also informed the House that none of the members of the Indian delegation was given an opportunity to deliver a speech on the occasion, which the Congress members are objecting to, dubbing it as false. Earlier, Anand Sharma pointed out to Swaraj in the House that MOS for External Affairs, V.K. Singh, had given a speech in Bandung on the 60th anniversary, but she completely denied that. Meanwhile, TMC MP Derek O'Brien supported Anand Sharma. The Lok Sabha on Friday passed a bill to establish an Indian Institute of Petroleum and Energy in the port city of Visakhapatnam in Andhra Pradesh and declare it as an institution of national importance. The Indian Institute of Petroleum and Energy Bill 2017 will help establish the institute that aims to provide high-quality education and research focusing on the themes of petroleum, hydrocarbons and energy.
A bold decision to bifurcate Andhra.
Petroleum Minister Dharmendra Pradhan informed the House that the Indian Institute of Petroleum and Energy Bill 2017 is a step closer to fulfilling Prime Minister Narendra Modi's promise of developing Andhra Pradesh. Prime Minister Modi had promised this when the state was split into two a few years ago. The state government has provided 200 acres of land free of cost for the project.
विश्व की देश की आवश्यकता को ध्यान में रखते हुए आंध्र में आपने चुना की अगर और 7 नेशनल इंपोर्टेंस की इंस्टीट्यूट आप तय किया, लेकिन मैं आभारी हूं कि आपने पेट्रोलियम और एनर्जी के बारे में एक इंस्टीट्यूट आंध्र में आपने तय किया। सिर्फ इसकी लाभ आंध्र में नहीं होगा, इसकी लाभ देश की अर्थनीति को होगा, विश्व की अर्थनीति को होगा, भारत की नौजवानों को रोजगार में मदद होगी। मैं आभार प्रकट करूंगा, उन्होंने 200 एकड़ जमीन बिना पैसा के, बिना मूल्य के उन्होंने उपलब्ध कराया। उनको मैं आभार प्रकट करता हूं, इन्होंने सही कदम उठाया।
Earlier, starting the discussion on the bill, Congress MP Adhir Ranjan Chaudhary said other states should learn from Andhra Pradesh in how to build institutes of national importance. However, he also slammed the government for removing the subsidy on petroleum, saying the step was anti-poor.
On behalf of my party, I must congratulate the endeavor made by the Andhra Pradesh government, because Andhra Pradesh government had allocated 200 acres of land free of cost. I think this should be emulated by other states also.
The establishment of the Petroleum University in the state of Andhra Pradesh, and the desire of this is being fulfilled by young dynamic Petroleum Minister Dharmendra Pradhan ji. He personally came to Visakhapatnam to inaugurate, to lay foundation stone for Petroleum University, sir.
When you form an institute, not only you are creating a new institute, but you are creating an institute with a national importance. And therefore I congratulate the minister. What was needed long
was tabled by our Honorable Minister Dharmendra Pradhan. He is a dynamic minister, I have no doubt. But sir, I have had an experience with, I have been working with the Petroleum Standing Committee last 3 years. But that dynamism will not exist in the petroleum companies, particularly in our PSUs. So we have a lot of institutions under the petroleum ministry, but the functioning of such institutions not well.
Several members also raised the issue of the price of LPG cylinder to be raised by 4 rupees every month. The Petroleum Minister had informed the House about this on Tuesday. With Ravindra Sharan, Bureau Input, Rajya Sabha TV.
The Goods and Services Tax Council will meet today to review the implementation of GST, which was rolled out from 1st of July. The Council will finalize a mechanism to operationalize anti-profiteering clause, which seeks to protect consumers' interests. Earlier this week, Finance Minister Arun Jaitley had said it is mandatory for manufacturers to pass on benefits of reduction in taxes post-GST to consumers. He had said the anti-profiteering law simply states that the businesses have to pass on to the benefits arising out of the lower taxes to the consumers. The GST Council is also likely to lower tax rate on job works, making fabric to garments by 5% and put in place a mechanism for online registration of goods above a certain value before they can be transported. Aadhaar card has been made mandatory to establish the identity of the deceased for the death registration. The new guidelines will be on effect from October 1st. The move aims to ensure accuracy of the details provided by the relatives and dependents. This will provide an effective method to prevent identity fraud and also help recording the identity of the deceased person. Besides, it will obviate the need of producing multiple documents to prove the identity of the deceased person. The directive would be applicable for the residents of all states except Jammu and Kashmir, Assam and Meghalaya, for which a date would be notified separately. And with that, time for a very short break. More news and updates on the other side. Stay with us.
In vegetables, the farmers are usually small to marginal. Generally, they are procuring seeds from the local shops or local markets. Sometimes they are procuring a seeds which is not suitable for that particular season, but just for the sake that the shopkeeper has to make their business, they are giving those seeds to the farmers. Tomato, the national productivity is only 22 tons per hectare, but we are having the potential of even 70 to 80 tons per hectare.
Watch Eureka with Dr. Neeraj Singh, Principal Scientist at ICAR, Indian Institute of Vegetable Research, only on Rajya Sabha television.
Thanks for being with us. Unimpressed by Chinese provocations on the Doklam stalemate, India has once again said that the solution to the problem lies in diplomatic initiatives from both the sides. This comes against the backdrop threatening statements from China increasing by the day and reports that it is holding live fire drills in the Doklam plateau in Sikkim.
Refusing to stand down in the face of the Chinese provocation on the standoff at the Doklam Tri-Junction, India has reiterated that diplomatic talks are the only way forward to defuse the tension.
So I would only say that our objective is peace and tranquility. How it is achieved, it will obviously be achieved through diplomatic channels which remain operational and available to both sides.
With its firm enunciation of talks as the best policy, India has clearly underscored that there is no reduction in vigilance on the border with China. Status quo existing a month ago is still in place as far as military preparedness is concerned for India.
The government, of course, remains prepared. The country, it's government's responsibility to ensure the security of its citizens and territory, and we remain prepared.
India's statement comes even as China has stepped up calls for immediate withdrawal of Indian troops from the Doklam Plateau. Beijing has said India must not underestimate the confidence and capability of the Chinese forces to defend national sovereignty and security. In an attempt to intimidate, China is also publicizing fire drills in the Tibetan areas close to India. This, however, is not the first time that China openly resorted to such provocation. But as Sushma Swaraj cautioned Beijing on Thursday, why to go into war if you have to return to the talks table?
किसी भी समस्या का समाधान युद्ध से नहीं निकलता, युद्ध के बाद भी संवाद करना पड़ता है तब निकलता है। युद्ध अपने आप में समाधान नहीं देता। जीते हारे लोग भी टेबल पर बैठते हैं तब समाधान निकलता है। तो बुद्धिमत्ता का तकाजा ये है कि युद्ध बिना किए संवाद कर लो और उससे रास्ता निकाल लो तो वो कहीं ज्यादा बेहतर है।
The border standoff between India and China started a month ago after Chinese troops started constructing a road near the Tri-Junction with Bhutan. India says the unilateral action by Beijing will change the status quo in the area, which will be detrimental to Indian strategic security. Akhilesh Suman's report for Rajya Sabha TV.
Meanwhile, India on Friday termed as a matter of concern the freedom enjoyed by Jamaat-ud-Dawa chief Hafiz Saeed and his organizations in Pakistan to conduct terror acts against India and others. India has also asked Islamabad to ensure that international sanctions against such individuals are enforced 100%. External Affairs spokesperson Gopal Bagle was reacting to reports of Saeed rebranding the Jamaat-ud-Dawa and launching a political outfit. Hafiz Saeed is an internationally designated terrorist by the United Nations. Bagle noted that Saeed's organization has been carrying out terror activities not only against India but against other countries as well.
अब अगर इस प्रकार का आतंकवादी राजनीतिक गतिविधियों में आना चाहता है तो मैं तो यही कहूँगा कि क्या वो बुलेट्स चलाने के बाद जिसने मासूम जानें ली हैं, क्या वो बैलेट के पीछे छुपना चाह रहा है, या वो जो हाथ खून में रंगे हुए हैं उनको वो बैलेट इंक से छुपाना चाहता है?
Meanwhile, 3 Lashkar-e-Taiba terrorists have been killed by the security forces in an encounter in Amargarh in Sopore district early today morning. Searches were being carried out by the security forces when they were fired on by hiding militants, resulting in exchange of fire. 3 AK-47 rifles have been recovered from them. Internet services have been snapped in Baramulla after security forces gunned down the terrorists. And pitching for reconciliation between India and Pakistan, Jammu and Kashmir Chief Minister Mehbooba Mufti has favoured dialogue between the two countries. She emphasised that the initiative would take the confidence-building measures to the next higher level, including opening of more routes across the line of control. Mehbooba said, while interacting with a delegation from the Pakistan-occupied Kashmir, which called on her on Friday, she said, dialogue and reconciliation between India and Pakistan would bring an end to the violence, acrimony and miseries of the people in the state. The Chief Minister stressed on frequent cultural exchanges between the youths, institutions, groups and communities on the two sides of the line of control. Mufti also said in areas like tourism, disaster management, agriculture and climate change, expertise and difficulties can be exchanged to achieve better results. The car of Congress Vice President Rahul Gandhi was pelted with stones allegedly on Friday during his visit to the flood-affected districts of Gujarat. The crowd waved black flags and raised slogans and tried to disrupt his brief meetings in Dhanera, Rooney, besides other places. The glass pane at the rear of the car in which Rahul was seated on his way to the helipad was shattered in the attack. However, Rahul did not suffer any injury and moved on to his next venue, Rooney village in Thara Taluka, where he asserted that his party is not going to be cowed down by stone pelting. Later addressing a gathering in Rooney village, Rahul said that they will not be deterred by such attacks. Meanwhile, Gujarat Chief Minister Vijay Rupani condemned the attack. Rupani said he has directed officials concerned to take strict action against those responsible for the incident.
उनके गाड़ियों पे सीमेंट ब्रिक्स के साथ बीजेपी सत्तारूढ़ प्रदेश और सत्तारूढ़ केंद्र की पार्टी के गूंज ने, असामाजिक तत्वों ने घृणात्मक रूप से हमला किया।
हर बात पे कॉन्स्पिरेसी देखने का प्रयास करना, हर विषय को गलत तरीके से प्रोजेक्ट करना, ये कांग्रेस का और खासकर से राहुल गांधी जी का काम रहा है। और मुझे बड़े दुख के साथ कहना पड़ रहा है, ये इसलिए रहा है क्योंकि उनके पास आज मुद्दे नहीं हैं, आज खुद उनके विधायक नदारत हैं।
And shifting our focus on the international front, the United Nations Security Council is set to vote today on a US drafted resolution over North Korea. The move aims to slash by a third North Korea's $3 billion annual export revenue over Pyongyang's 2 intercontinental ballistic missile tests in July. The resolution needs 9 votes in favor and no vetoes by the United States, China, Russia, France or Britain to be adopted. The draft resolution would ban North Korea's exports of coal, iron ore, iron, lead, lead ore and seafood. It would also prohibit countries from increasing the current number of North Korean laborers working abroad. And a look at what else is making news across the world in World Wrap. The US has officially informed the United Nations it will withdraw from the Paris Climate Agreement. President Donald Trump announced his decision to withdraw from the Paris deal in June, saying the accord would have cost America trillions of dollars, killed jobs and hindered industries. However, it left the door open to re-engage if the terms improved for the United States. Rwanda's incumbent leader Paul Kagame has sealed a crushing victory in the presidential elections that granted him a third term in office. The victory has extended his 17 years in power. Kagame has secured 98.66% vote. Venezuela inaugurated a new legislative superbody that is expected to rewrite the constitution. This has given vast new powers to the ruling Socialist Party. The 545-member assembly unanimously elected former Foreign Minister Delcy Rodriguez to the presidency. However, the opposition staged protests in several parts of the capital, but there were no signs of the violence of the past 4 months that has left a death toll of more than 125. And on to the sports. India are in control of the second test against Sri Lanka at Colombo, with visitors strongly placed after end of play on the day 2 on Friday. Sri Lanka were reeling at 50 for 2 at stumps in reply to India's mammoth total of 622 for 9 in the first innings. Spinner Ravichandran Ashwin took both the wickets. For the host, Kaushal Mendes and skipper Dinesh Chandimal were at the crease at stumps. Earlier, resuming the day at their overnight 344 for 3, India crossed the 600-run mark for the second game in the row. Overnight, Centurions Cheteshwar Pujara and Ajinkya Rahane could not add much to their individual scores, but half-centuries from Ashwin, Saha and Jadeja helped India pile up a massive score. India's campaign at the New Zealand Open badminton tournament ended on Friday after both HS Pranoy and Saurabh Verma lost their respective men's single quarterfinal matches. Fourth-seeded Pranoy was stunned by 11th seed Lin Yu-hin of Chinese Taipei in the 3 games. The US Open winner levelled the match after losing the first game but lost the final game in a tightly fought contest to lose 10-21, 22-20, 21-23 in just over an hour. In another last 8 fixture, 7th seed Verma lost to unseeded Li Shuhui of Hong Kong in straight games 19-21, 16-21. And that's all we have for you in this edition of Breakfast News. Keep watching Rajya Sabha television.